Hi, Camille and the Studio Birds here with my latest book. It's called The Flower Crown. It has two ribbons that you can use to tie the crown. And it is a combination book, which means that it's made of three different folding structures: the Hungarian fold, the petal fold, and the Turkish fold. And inside each flower you can see there's a little bee. So I made a pattern for this. It's a 4-page pattern, so you'll need that to put together the book, and you'll need a few things: PVA, scissors or a knife to cut things, maybe both, Teflon or bone folder, and a pencil. And then you'll need a few materials. You'll need 2 pieces of compressed board, a length of metallic thread or regular thread, and then ribbon. And the ribbon I use is 1/4 of an inch. I'll put all the measurements for those things below. We'll start out with the cover of the pattern. And for the cover of the pattern, as you can see, there's the bees, as well as order in which you want to glue and assemble everything. And then there's the cover, and I thought we would start out by going ahead and creating the cover. So to do that, we're going to need those 2 pieces of compressed board. You want to cover it with the cover papers. Then you want to attach the paste downs, and then you want to add the ribbons. Now that you have the 2 pages of the 2 covers of your book done, and you've got the ribbons glued to the inside, let's work with the next page of the pattern. So the next page that we're going to look at in the pattern is the page with the petal fold book pages. And each page is a 2-sided image. So you have the front and then you have the back. This is a little different than my other things posted in my shop. It doesn't have detailed directions with it. It is just the illustrated book pattern. There are some simple instructions at the bottom, and there are folding lines to help you with folding them. But if you haven't folded all 3 of these structures, you probably want to take a look at some of my beginning patterns before you attempt this one. On this page, we're going to fold everything as a petal fold. And just to review that, a petal fold is really simple. All we're going to do is we're going to take that fold and we're going to fold it in half diagonally, open that back out, and fold it in both directions. When you open that back out and put it together, press it with your folder, and then I've created a little pattern for you to use to cut out the scallops on the petals. You want to make sure that you're cutting on the open side, not the closed side. Lay that pattern down with the scallop on the open side, and just take a pencil and mark where you want to cut that. You want to do all the cutting for the leaves and the tulips after you've folded them. So we'll just take a scissor and cut that. And you can see how that turns out when you open it up. It gives you more of a tulip petal shape. You want to do that to the second one as well. And then we're coming to the leaves. And for the leaves, you want to do the same thing. You want to fold them, and this time you're going to fold so that the printed front is on the inside. And you do that just for the leaves. Open it back out, and fold it in both directions. And then close it and press it. Now we're ready to cut the leaves, and to do that you just want to take out the white part. So I like to cut around all of the corners first, and then you want to cut the leaf shapes. And to do that you're just going to cut along this curve. And do that for all of your leaf pages. The next page is a page that has the rest of the flowers on it. And that page, if you see, has the most variety for the types of folds that you'll be doing. I've marked each and every fold, and so you can see that this is folded the Hungarian fold, this is folded the Turkish fold, Hungarian fold, Turkish fold, and petal fold. You'll also notice that on this sheet you have your 2 paste downs, which we used with our cover. So to do that, let's start out with the Hungarian fold. And that Hungarian fold, you're going to fold with the printed image facing out to start your diagonal fold. And then fold it in both directions. And remembering with the Hungarian fold, I like to use a ruler or some sort of other straight device to tell me how far I want to fold that down. We can meet it. Do it on both sides. You've got kind of the first fold to give it as your guide. And there's the Hungarian fold. You open this up, and to finish the flower you want to invert each of these folds. So just kind of delicately press them in, invert them, and then crease them. Beautiful. So there is our Hungarian fold flower, and that's the poppy. The next flower that we're going to do is the 2 purple flowers, and those are in the Turkish fold. And in the Turkish fold, you'll fold it in half with the image on the outside. But then you'll open it up and you'll fold the other 2 directions diagonally. Then you'll create the collapsed version, and you're just going to fold each of these corners into the center. And you want to do that on both sides. And just like the Hungarian, you're going to take those folds and invert them. So we'll open it up. And then we'll invert those folds. The better you press each of those folds when you first do them, the easier it will be to invert them. And you want to do all 4. And there you have your Turkish fold, and you want to fold both of those purple flowers that way. The last thing that you want to do with the flowers is you want to fold the daffodils, and one of those daffodils is a Hungarian fold that we just covered, and the outside of that daffodil is a petal fold. So do both of those. The petal fold was like we did the leaves, and the Hungarian fold like we did the petals. And then you're just going to superimpose or inset that into the petal fold, the Hungarian into the petal fold, and you'll see how it nicely fits in there. And just take a little drop of glue and put it on either side just to kind of tack that together. Okay. Now we're ready to do the next step, which is to put everything together. So we have our daffodil, we have our 2 purple flowers, we have our poppy, and we have our tulips. We also have all of our leaves, and I like to line things up in the order in which they go. You're going to be gluing things so that the flowers are all with the openings up, and the leaves are going to be with the opening down. So let's just start out with our first folds, which is the tulips, and we're just going to put a little bit of glue on the back of that, and we will put them all together. Now we're ready to stitch the thread through the book so that we have something to attach our bees to. And I like to just start with the bottom end, and I just pull that through, and I want to glue that so it kind of tacks it down to start out with. So I just pull it through, almost giving it a tail to glue with, and then I have some pretty dry PVA here, so it's pretty tacky. Okay, and then I'm going to sew through the bottom of all the pages, and I'm just going to go through each page one by one, kind of open them out. You go between those green leaves and then through the bottoms. You want to pull that thread through so that it's extended before you tack it down. And if you have a little extra, you can snip that. Now we're ready to add the bees on the inside. And the bees are going to just go around that thread. And so all we do is we take a bee, we fold it in half, and we apply a drop of glue to the inside. Then we find a place that we'd like to put it on the inside of a flower, have it go around that thread, and then just press the pair of them together. Do that for all 3 of them. If you don't put glue on the connector where they fold, you can move that back and forth, which comes in handy when you want to collapse the book. So we're ready to add it to its cover. Fold the text block all the way down. Make sure your thread isn't in the way. We want the blue ribbon to come out at the end, the point of the book, and you just want to apply glue to the outside. And lay it on top. Do the same thing to the top. Add the other cover, making sure that you're lining up those 2 ribbons. And there you have it, the Flower Crown book. You can find this pattern as well as many others on my Etsy shop. Let me know if there's any other structures or books that you would like to see demoed. Hope you have a chance to make something fun this week. And from the Studio Birds and Camille, thanks for watching.